on the log and everything to play for at the top of the log.
You also consider that Pillars played at home, played away. By the time they go home,
Nasarawa is also going home.
Absolutely.
Enyimba is also going home. Yeah. Only Abia Warriors will be going away. All right, so that's how it is at the top. Well, Dumnodi, at the bottom, you still have Nembe, you still have Crown, you still have Kaduna. This is a massive battle to avoid a drop. Dumnodi.
Yeah, for Gombe United, they lost to Sharks Money. They are on 17th position with 32 points. Crown, in spite of their 3-0 victory over Nassau United, they're still on 18th position, 30 points. Kaduna United slipped down to 30 points, 18th position. Nembe City, they have an outstanding game against GYFC. But the goal difference is mind-blowing.
Minus 23 for Nembe.
How do you close this up? Even if you have to win your 2 games, you close up, or probably if Kaduna is not doing very well. But
look at the goal difference for all the bottom 4 teams. Only Gombe look like they have a healthy goal difference, and that will help them at the end of the season.
Yes.
Nembe minus 23, Kaduna minus 12, Crown minus 9.
Except for Kaduna United, but if they get results, sometimes the goal difference may not come. But if you get win, your point may even earn you some advantage.
But they need to really work on reducing those deficits. Because if you are tied on point with a team that has a better goal difference, it's like a -1 for you in terms of your points.
Yeah, and you consider that Gombe also went away. You know, they won away before the league went on break. They beat Bayelsa. So that will also count.
That counts for a lot. So when they go back
in Gombe,
when they go back home and they are playing away, double away,
they're playing
Dolphins this weekend. All right, that's what it looks like at the bottom of the log. A lot of work to be done by these teams at the bottom of the table. Dumnodi, you've been keeping track of the top scorers and what's happening. Osagona, Igodaro.
Quite interesting.
This guy wants to break the 20-goal record.
He's left with 7 more goals, and we have just played 26 games. We left with 12 more games, so he can do some magic. If he gets another hat-trick, then he's closing down on that record. Ebibobowe was not on the score chart this afternoon, but he's on 13 goals. Rabi Ali on 11 goals. Mpomudo didn't score today. He's on 11 goals. Bola Salami scored today. He's also on 11 goals. These are the top scorers so far in the Nigerian professional football in the good Premier League.
After match day 26?
After match day 26. We are left with just
12 more weeks.
12 more weeks. Let's see what Osagona will do in the next game, in the Rangers' next game, because he seems to be scoring more at home, but he got some couple of results, goes away from home, but he's done some kind of magic. But Ebibobowe, he's done a lot of magic. He's got 3 braces. He's got 2 hat-trick. There's nothing you can do about it.
All right, so those are the names. Watch out for these names. These are the marksmen in the Globe Premier League. And I think Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi, if he's looking for those who will score goals on bad pitches, who will risk their head and put everything into it to get goals, I think you should look at some of these guys that we have put out on the screen and call them up and give them an opportunity to shine with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All right, that does it for our review of the Globe Premier League games played today across different centers. Let's step down now and talk about the Nigerian National League, because it's interesting. In the Nigerian National League, we have just 2 more match days to go to the end of the season. So let's start off by giving you results from Division A. Let me run through very quickly the results from Division A. Spotlight, 3-0 over Kwara United. Not a good one for the Afonja Warriors. Plateau United, 3-0 over Sokoto as well. Adamawa, 2-0 over Kogi United. Wiki, 1-0 over DSS of Kaduna. Tornadoes of Mina, 1-0 over Mighty Jets of Jos. And Jigawa Golden Stars, 3-1 over Nigeria Prisons. And then we had Cheap, walked over by Ranchers, 0-3. We will talk about this later on the show, Dumnodi. The story around Tip FC, we will talk about it later on. And then FRSC and Supreme Court settled for a 1-1 draw. These are the results from Division A after week 28 matches in the Nigerian National League. Division B, stationary stores, we'll talk about it later on as well. Losing at home 0-1 to First Bank, not good at all for Flaming. And this puts them in a very, very precarious situation. I don't know what magic will happen for stationary stores to survive a drop this season. We'll talk about it later on. MFM, truly at home, 3-0 over Ekiti. Go round, 2-0 over COD. COD are not comfortable at all. 3SC, 2-0 over Gabros. That is almost like a ticket to the Globe Premier League next season for 3SC. Gateway, 1-0 over ABS. Other results as well. Prime, 1-0 over Unisem. Bendel Insurance, 2-0 over Remo Stars. These are the results for you of matches played today in the National League Divisions A and B. Dumnodi, very quickly. let's talk about stationary stores before we talk about Tip FC. What's going on? Stationary stores back to football after a long break, but the results are not exactly what we want them to be. Maybe because they joined the season in a hurry. What do you see?
They joined the season in a hurry. Yes, that accounted for their poor performance in the first round because they
had a chance to recruit.
Yeah, the first stanza they lost a game at home. They drew a couple of games at home, even though they got at least 2 points away from home. But in the second stanza, they overhauled the team entirely. The player that started the first set, I think they are left with just 4 players after Patamo took over reins as the coach of the team. We thought that would be the resurgence of the Flaming.
The turning point.
The turning point for Flaming. But you don't change an entire squad like that. I don't for them in that system because they inherited that first standard squad from Union Bank, which the club they bought over or that they took over from. I don't fault them in that. But this is the National League. You keep improving as the game progresses. But these guys didn't do his job. Against First Bank, it was supposed to be they lost the first meeting in Agege 2-0. But I thought they would have paid back First Bank is simple. But you drop on among the Lagos team, they've lost more points. Among the Lagos teams, among the 4 Lagos teams, they dropped more points than the other Lagos team. Among themselves, among the 4 Lagos teams, among themselves, they've dropped more points than the other team. So I think for stationary stores, just 2 games left. They still have another home game against Go Round. Tonikon. Let's see what that will turn out to be at the end of the day. And the last game is going to be against Benin Shawan. If Shawan is not fighting for promotion, then I hope that game is going to be much of a cracker for Flaming Flamingos. But it is not. It's quite sad that this team is struggling at this time because this is the team we all said yes.
Everybody wants to see Flaming. Everybody wants to see Flaming.
But the result they are shown. This is the first stanza. This is the player that played the first stanza. They were impressed with the performance because these players were inherited. Yes, these players inherited these players from Union Bank. But second stanza, Amao came, overhauled the team. The result came in, but the result went quite good for Flaming at this point.
Let me bring you in because people have talked about a model club. Stationary Stores is the closest to a model club that you have. Well, in terms of what the likes of COD, United are doing, MFM are doing, you can commend them. But the followership of Stationary Stores is amazing. Even for a club that's been out for a long time, they still enjoy plenty of followership. Surely not what the fans expect to see. But what positives can we pick out of these in case they go down at the end of the season?
Well, Tony, the most important thing is that they are back. They can take a lot of lessons from it. Even if they go down, they can still come up. Like Nodi said, I think it was too quick in the season. The season has already started when they bought from Union Bank.
On the eve of the new season.
The eve of the new season. So you don't expect much from a team. That's why in Europe there is pre-season. You get players before the season starts, they blend, the coach will be able to pass his philosophy. Fatai Amao came firstly as a consultant, then took over the club. So he will change his own philosophy. And the team needs time, to start gelling, to start getting results. So it doesn't work overnight. You cannot expect miracle. The fans should be patient. We are happy that Stationary Stores is back. It's not the end, even if they go down, they can still come up. But the management of the club should do the needful by leveraging on the supportership, the followership of this club. Before we came on air, I saw Rangers jersey, and I was asking that why can't the replica of jerseys be made?
Stationary Stores have the replicas everywhere.
Absolutely. So
people are buying. I mean, the followership is amazing.
So they can leverage on this.
Get a solid footing,
even if they go down,
and come back
almost immediately. So it's not the end of the world. But the most important thing is that the family has resolved their issue internally, and the club, can now blossom.
It's back, and the club is back. Okay, let's hope that, as Onye said, even if they go down at the end of this season, they can bounce back as quickly if they lay a solid foundation, like I'm sure Tilewa Adebayo is doing with the management of the club. So it may just be a setback, they go down, but they can bounce back almost immediately and then begin to power on until they return to the Premier League. Before we leave the National League, let's now talk about the issue of TIP. Today they were walked over by ranchers, and maybe tomorrow the National League Board have promised that they're going to come out with a statement around the future of TIP. TIP said they have pulled out. The National League says no, you cannot pull out towards the end of a season like this because it throws the table into confusion. Are your games cancelled, or do we just assume that you are walked over?
Well, Tony, on Monday, we raised the issue of a match-fixing allegation credited to an official of TIP. But the following day, in my office, I read a story also from NNL saying that the official spoke for